I figured you would take your time, but you sure do move slow. Maybe I'm too impatient. Then again, time is precious. I can't help but feel like each hour is but a slow drain on my life force. I suppose I could be sad. I honestly don't think I can feel any lower than I have these past years. I hate to call you a liar, but it is impossible for you to love me. You don't watch those who you love suffer and do nothing. Not when you could have done something. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I wishfully saw too much of me in you. Even as you approach, the priestess continues to face away from you. You watch her remain still and unwavered by this cold, despite having little to no protection from these winds. She seems to only be staring forward, at something clearly not visible to you. I could come up with a million reasons. No, excuses for why you've ignored me. I once dreamed of what we could be. They were a comfort in the darkness of my mind, but they only became nightmares that taunted me. I thought that feeling was only temporary. I'd be wrong. It's not poetic to feel like a ghost. A ghostly puppet being pulled by fickle, cruel gods who would tear me apart in the name of their art. My pain makes me a work of art. Was I not enough before? Do I need to be an attraction surrounded by a cathedral? A monument of years of languish and suffering? Or is it that you are so blind that God's great design is the only thing in your eyes? No, I'm getting off track. This is about love. The daydream of warmth I have, the dream of heaven while I suffer every day in hell. This is about the icy caps on my heart that are burning to be free. How could I be loved? In my mind, fulfillment and joy are just concepts to me. They exist solely to mock me, to remind me of what life has to offer for anyone who is not I. You think it's so simple. You say I merely must have faith, that I must trust that you will save me. But the time for this has passed. We cannot change the sins of our neglect. Even if you did everything right, it would never make this world tolerable for me. It's better you don't waste your time. It's better my psychosis comforts me with the illogical and vivid coincidences that make me think I'm needed, that I'm making a change. I only wanted to be held and heard. I never wanted to be special or a work of art. I cannot even be trusted with my own life because I dream only of an escape from this existence. This all started when the church found me. I was told I would bring salvation and peace, that you and I would protect the world from devastation. And while I was left to rot in stifling chains, you saw the world. I begged each day for your return, and I was only given empty promises. They told me without my prayer and power, you would be unable to complete your mission, that I only needed to wait for your success, and freedom would be mine. But you never came to free me. Truth is, I am a priestess who hates the God who created her. The power to see comes at the price of my sanity. This strength has made me weak. I'm impossibly fragile, but only in my own mind. I have no fear, because I crave anything that will free me from the hell my God created in my own mind. They told me working for another church was slavery. They made me look in the darkest parts of my psyche and face who I really am. They said I was perfect, and everything was just a tutorial. I can't do to anyone what they did to me. That's not love. The same God who brought you power made me lose everything. They're the same God who watched my mother work herself to death. The same God who took my daughter away from me. Asked me who she would have been if the work hadn't killed her. And I saw what they did to me that night, and let the unanswered questions drive me insane. It made me realize all we want is to feel safe in our mother's beds again. But love is not something I know as well as pain. The priestess turns to look at you finally. Her face is covered in frost. Her bandaged arms are covered in frostbite, and her rigid hair is held by ice. The smiling priestess you once knew is disappearing right in front of you. Do you see me now? You were right to be scared. Why doesn't that make it hurt any less? It's almost better you'd stay away. All things are temporary. I too will come and pass. One day, on the coldest of nights, my blood will freeze forevermore. That thought is comforting to me, and more tangible than you ever were. You may have saved this world, but I am not a part of it. I've already accepted the reality that my fate was always to end in tragedy. It's time that you've also come to terms with this. No, I cannot blame you. Even if I used to. You chose to save the world like a hero. Why would you choose any different? The reason I've waited for you for so long is I can't even freeze quietly. I need to be seen. So I've made you my witness. My partner in fate, the sword of my prayers. You will now bear the burden of a pitiful priestess. As the person who once held my heart, you will be the final person to see me in the realm of the living. You, the only one who would weep my death. Remember the cruel God who did this. If there is such a paradise beyond our mortal existence, then perhaps I shall see you there. But I dare not desire for such things. The void is all the comfort I need. You may promise me all you want, but I do not need your salvation. The ice within my own heart is aching to take me. If I must remain a statue of winter for all of eternity, then I shall do it. I feared I wouldn't be able to persuade you. I have chosen my death, but if you were so set on my life, then you had better prepare for the wrath of fate and God. You would need miracles beyond mortal comprehension to save me. Crystalline snowflakes begin to grow on her skin. Her movements slow and become far more rigid. And just before she's fully encased in ice, she looks to you. This is it. I leave you for eternity. I'm sorry. You guys could probably tell this isn't my usual content, and that's because I found this script over at Reddit. It was a very kind user that let me edit and make changes to it so I could, as they said, make the story kind of my own. It was so much fun to do, and man, do I love tragedy. So obviously I got very into this. It also made me realize I probably will enjoy reading scripts in the future. I won't be doing a whole lot of them, but I'll try to work them in here and there. If you guys have any suggestions, or if you think that I'm really suited for one, or that I would do it justice, feel free to put it in the comments, and I'll try to give it a look over. If I think it's a good fit for the channel, and I think I could even do a voice for it, I will absolutely try to. I typically plan my videos in advance, so it might take a while to actually produce it, but I think it'd be a lot of fun. Anyways, thank you so much, everyone.